Breaking.
Well, we have some breaking news here. Like, share, subscribe. Could we be seeing the end of the super teams? Is this the end of the super friend, super friendly era, where I go to play with my bestie and my best friend? First of all, what is a super team? Super teams can be differently defined. LeBron James said he has never played on a super team. Is it 2 superstars? Is it 3 all-stars? Were the 80s Lakers and Celtics a super team? Were the 2000 Celtics a super team with Garnett? I don't think so. Super teams were formed by an era of friends who hijacked the NBA for power. The beginning of super teams started, in my opinion, with King James along with Wade and Bosh. Agree or not, those 3 players were top 15 in the NBA, and people forget how good Chris Bosh was. Chris Bosh was a 20-10 guy and a walking double-double on any given night, and he could also go off and hit 30, 40, and maybe even 50 points. LeBron did not have to make the decision to go to Miami to beat that Celtics team with Paul Pierce, Garnett, and Ray Allen. That team was aging, and I'm sure he would have eventually got over the hump anyway. LeBron left Cleveland the first time because he wanted to chase the ring. He was in his 7th year, and he had not won a ring. That had put him behind the schedule of Michael Jordan, who had won his first ring in year 7. And that was literally the talk in the media at the time. You can even go look that up or YouTube it. So can you say that Michael Jordan is responsible for the super team era? I don't know. When that decision made, it completely shifted the balance of power in the NBA, and it made other players like Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard switch teams and try to keep up with LeBron, and they have been on a mission ever since. Since the Heat were the only super team in the league at the time, the only true super team, they went to 4 consecutive finals and were running through a weak East. Of course, they were running through the Raptors, and they even beat Kevin Durant, and they got credit for beating Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, 2 very, very young and up-and-coming superstars. And I think James Harden was on that team coming off the bench, but they hadn't truly come into themselves yet. Maybe KD had. The 2 losses in the final that the Heatles had came from the Spurs and the Mavs, 2 veteran teams who had formed great chemistry. Imagine that. Since 2012, 7 of the 13 teams have been quote-unquote super teams. That's almost half. The last 3 champions, Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, are definitely not super teams. Just good teams with great chemistry and some veteran players. Apart from the 2020 bubble ring, Kyrie and LeBron Cavs, KD Warriors, an argument can be made that all other super teams have failed. Kawhi and Paul George have not yet panned out because of injuries. And they also lost in the 2022 play-in. LeBron and AD have had a rough time with Russell Westbrook. The Brooklyn Nets failed after James Harden left Kyrie and KD. And next up is the Phoenix Suns with KD, Booker, and Bradley Beal. The Lakers, Nets, and the Clippers have had huge payrolls. All 3 have fired head coaches and have traded a total of 12 future first-round picks to various teams. We have to admit that it takes a special organization to host a super team. A team has to have the cap, they have to be an attractive destination, and they have to be able to assemble the right stars who are willing to work together and kind of give and take. The Lakers went all in to get Anthony Davis. The Clippers traded away everything in 2019 to get Kawhi Leonard. Brooklyn lost everything in the Kyrie and KD trade. Imagine going all in and not winning. So we'll keep our eyes on the Phoenix Suns this year. So injuries have hurt super teams this year, which can be a reason why they are not winning lately. It seems that the older the great players get, the more they are willing to team up with each other and kind of go capture these rings with each other. And who can blame them? But with that comes a price. The players are older, and when it comes playoff times, they are all banged up. AD and LeBron can't stay healthy for a full season. Kawhi Leonard was out for a full season, and when he came back for the playoffs, Paul George went down before the play-in. And, of course, they lost in the play-in, like I mentioned. I can't say this is the end of the super team era because super teams are still being formed. The Heat are eyeing Damian Lillard for the 2023 season, and LeBron James is eyeing everyone yet again. I know records are made to be broken, but not like this. The players in the past had to grind it out to truly become great, doing it with 1 or 2 teams. Unfortunately, luck is a huge part of the equation when it comes to being great or the greatest of all time. How can you jump from team to team by choice, picking up rings, and say you're better than people who have needed much less help than you? How many players got drafted by horrible organizations and have had horrible careers? It's part of the game. But how many have made the best from the worst situation? I'm not saying stay with one team like Tim Duncan or Kobe, but doing it with 3 or 4 teams and ring chasing hurts your legacy anyway. I'm sorry, I just can't compare players like LeBron and KD to old school players like Olajuwon, people who got 2 or 3 championships with one team. Players like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. You have to have a great career. It cannot be solely based off talent. If that were the case, then Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter would be top 10, right? So that is what separates the weight classes to me. Organizations are going back to being smart and winning through the draft and saving future round draft picks at the same time. There's something to be said about team chemistry and coaching continuity. Ask the Golden State Warriors, who also formed the super team. The AAU culture needs to just go away. Hopefully the new generation learns from this. And I'm not saying it's not okay to switch teams, but don't be teaming up with this friend and that friend and this friend and that friend. I think that hurts the NBA even more than the three-point shooting. Tell me what you think in the comment section, man. Are super teams over? Are they a bad idea? Let me know your opinion in the comments.
Breaking.
Well, we have some breaking news here. Like, share, subscribe.